Okay, I just realized I have a green shirt on underneath, so that means that anytime that that the chroma key is activated, I might look like I have text behind my neck, and that's probably not an ideal video experience, but we'll keep moving along anyway. All right, so far we have this nice control structure, but we only can kind of play through it once. And we really want this to kind of continue to ask this question until somebody gives the right answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a type of control structure called a loop. And this particular loop we're going to use is called a while loop. While loops often, you might hear people that are doing coding stuff sound like a little bit dangerous because you might end up dangerous because you might end up in an infinite loop where the computer will just continually get stuck inside of a loop. And that's sort of possible with what we have, but the Trinket platform is pretty protective of you trying to continually run something, so you don't have to worry. But let's start right here by taking this entire block that we have so far for our question and answer part. And we're going to make it so that we can put this in a nice little spot. So actually, you know what? I'm going to take it all the way up to the beginning where it says you're on a beach, and we'll start from there. So I'm going to say up here at the top, I'm going to say, oops, not with caps on though. Case, you do want to make sure you have the proper case. I'm going to say while, and in this case, I'm going to say true. And it does need to be a capitalized true. Make sure your true is capital. And you can tell it's the right one when it lights up as this kind of pink color in Trinket. If you have a lowercase t, it's not going to light up, so it's not accurate. So Python's forgiving about a lot of things, but certain types of capitalization is not one of them. So what we're going to do now is, anytime we have this colon like this, we need to then have something after it that's going to be tabbed in, because that's how Python knows it's part of that loop or that if statement. So here we're going to highlight all of this block, and we're going to press the tab key. So what I did here is I just highlighted all of it and then pressed the tab key. Now in Trinket, you can see it a little bit. And hopefully you can see it on the video. You can see here where they have a little bit of a line that's going down. After the if statement, there's a little bit of a line. After the else, these are all pieces that are trying to show you that this is part of that else. In the case of the while, I'm not seeing it show up here, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But know that all of these are part of that. And there's certain programming development environments that really make it clear. But now that we've put all of that in there, everything that's in here, because it's all tabbed in underneath the while, is now part of that while loop. And I think I'm going to add one more thing down here to the bottom inside the while loop, and that is I'm going to ask it to print just a bunch of equal signs or lines so that I can get a bar at the bottom. Each time this while loop goes through, it'll go from here straight down. It'll ask a question. It'll ask the if statement. It'll ask the elif if the first one isn't true, and if it's else and gets to the end, it's going to print this bar out, and it's going to start again at the top. So let's try it out and see how it works. I forgot a quote at the bottom, and there we go. Oh, the quote ended up somehow on the next line. Let's correct that. Okay, I'm going to run this, and I have some other mistake. Let's see. Oh, put a quote at the beginning somehow. One more try. And I clear this. So anytime you have these errors, you got to look for where those are. They'll give you a hint down at the bottom where that mistake is. And so I come into my game. Wake up on a beach. I don't know where I am or who I am. I want to go to the jungle or the wreck. I'm going to go to click in the window. I'm going to want to go to the jungle. And it says, you're in the jungle, baby. Now it's going to loop back around. And here you can see it's asking me the same questions, giving me the same description again, which is perfectly fine. Let me next do this. I'm going to go and say, put in something that is total gibberish. And now you can see it says, I don't understand, and then it brings me back to the same statement. And if I pick the rec, it should all essentially loop back we're in this while loop, so we're going back to the same place all the time. Now, this is great for the beginning here, where we want to make sure that people answer properly and it comes back. But what we really want them to do is go to the beach, or go to the wreck, or go to the jungle. And that's going to be our next segment for this. But right now, let's get it so your while loop continually runs and runs and runs. And I would definitely say at this point, it's time to save. Once you've saved it, you can always go back and make a copy or a duplicate if you feel like you're in the wrong spot. But right now, we've got this game starting out pretty well. We've got a couple little pieces, and all the structure we know right now is something we're going to reuse and reuse and reuse. So it's getting close to a point where we can start making this more complex and more modular. So stick around for the next video.